Well, tell me how did the idea of starting a church come about? Whose idea was it? Uncle Eli, you remember what who planted that seed? Why was that? How did that come about?
Well, from ever since they wanted to build a Chinese church, even the Mrs.
Gallimore.
Gallimore's time,
Yes.
but it never come to fruition. Of course, we carry in some of our hearts to remember, we want to a building for the Chinese. So that's how it come about, and the Chinese Christian group, and we plan, we pledge, and eventually we bought a place and built.
Uncle Seth, you remember any of the details?
Well, we discussed it among the leadership of the Chinese group at that time, what sort of church it should be.
Yes.
And there was strong feeling or should I say, reservation about having an ethnic church, like a Chinese church,
Right.
because of the nature of the Jamaican population, and we could have resistance then. Well, most of us in those days were being nurtured by the Christian Brethren assemblies. Those of us who were in the Chinese group went to the Christian Brethren assemblies, and we sought the advice of the elders of various churches, Uncle Charlie Royce and Mr. Carl Richards from Galilee, Mr. Wildish, and so forth. Then we decided we'd have it as a Christian Brethren assembly, focusing on, not focusing, but as a distinct mission to reach Chinese in it.
So there was this burden then to continue the movement to reach Chinese in Jamaica through the church, but it was felt that it should be multi-racial.
Yeah. Another thing too, why we need that church is that many of the people coming to the group did not go to a church.
Okay.
Not many of them. So we felt they needed nurture and discipleship. So we decided we must have a church to provide all the amenities for them and all the opportunity and facilities for growing.
So who formed the leadership of this of the Chinese Christian movement at the time? That sort of now we're thinking of getting the church going, Uncle Seth?
Mrs. Gallimore set up Eli to be the president or the leader.
Okay.
And we had various secretary and treasurer and all this kind of thing. Well, the usual thing for a fledgling organization. And we had an executive committee.
Who was on that executive?
Well, we had Dave Ho.
Who is Dave Ho?
My brother.
Your brother, yes.
My brother, who was passed on, gone to with the Lord. Was well known in the Caribbean, in the evangelical circles.
Yes.
And we had Henry Wong. And as we went along, we had George Chinloy and Harry Leong, Leslie Limsong, and Eli and myself.
What role did you play, Uncle Seth? You were...
So if you want to call it just General Secretary.
You were the secretary. Okay, and Uncle Eli, you were the chairman, president. Yes. Well, tell me how you came to choose this property, the property at 5 Swallowfield Road, Uncle Eli. Who owned it? How did we come to identify that this could be used?
The Lord at Mandeville owned the property.
The
Lords, yeah.
They're from Old Harbor.
That one from Old Harbor.
Yeah.
That was the original from Mandeville.
Yeah.
Okay.
And of course, we used to have meeting there.
Yes.
For some time.
What kind of meetings you used to have there?
Thursday night meeting.
A Bible study and sometime ministry.
That is in the house?
In the house.
In the house. So that house is a famous house. They used to live there?
No.
The
Moreland Camp used to have their meetings there.
Okay, okay.
And the universities, quite a few groups used to have meeting there.
Okay.
Student Christian Fellowship.
Uncle Eli, why was there a link made with the Brethren churches to start? What prompted that?
In those days, most of us, as Christians, we were in fellowship of a different assembly.
Okay. Where were you fellowshipping at that time?
Maranatha.
Okay.
Cecil was at Maranatha.
Okay.
David, his brother, was at Galilee.
Galilee, yes.
And
Leslie from Olivet.
Leslie from Olivet.
Yes.
Richard Masado from Bethany. Henry Wong from Bethany.
Mm-hmm.
Harry Young from Maranatha.
Yes.
So the common denominator then was that you were all in the Chinese Christian movement.
Yeah.
And then you said that let's go with the Brethren. Okay. The first meeting was on October 15, 1970.
Yeah.
You tell me, Uncle says, that was what day of the week?
Thursday night.
That was a Thursday night. That was the official launch?
Yeah.
Okay. Uncle Eli, what was the reception? How did people in the community deal with this Chinese church in the community? What was it like?
I don't think they any against it, but
Yeah.
there's a Chinese church.
Yes.
Of course, then in those days, we used to have a few Jamaican inside the church.
Yeah.
So we have fact to show them that everybody is welcome.
Yes. Yes. Did you take any special initiatives in reaching out to the community, Uncle Seth?
Yes. That time
yeah.
we had crusade. When we started a crusade,
Yes.
when we opened the church, we had an American evangelist come, and we went around canvassing people and inviting people. And gradually people started to come out one by one and little by little, And
I can imagine now to see Sister Amira with her troop.
Advira Henry. I know that lady. And what did the troop look like in those days? What were they wearing, Uncle Eli? You remember? What were the ministries like when you started?
There's the mission committee, and there's Christian education,
Okay.
which covered the Sunday school, and all the agencies in that. Then we had junior church too.
Junior church, yeah.
While the main service, the family Bible, all was being conducted in bilingual. We had children or young people in the annex with this having junior church. What the other ministry had was mission program that talked about the planning, the teaching and the teaching of the church. But we had youth fellowship, and of course we had finance, and I think that building committee, that means care of the maintenance. That were few, they were managed for the amount of people we had.
Talk about finance.
Yes.
I remember Brother George Chinloy was ill,
Yes.
and he was at Natal Hospital. I went to see him.
Yes.
Before I have a prayer with him and I left him, he said, Eli, I have some money. I can lend it to the church for the building. That's how we started.
So he contributed to the initial.
No, I can lend you the
Lending the money. Yes. Yes.
church. So we pay him back.
All I know that the building cost $24,000 to construct.
$24,000.
So, the 1970.
Wow. Wow.